can you buy stigmatized properties? Now it's getting popular in Japan, buying stigmatized properties. So the stigmatized properties, the homes where individuals have passed away due to past incidents or accidents. So this is commonly known as stigmatized properties. So surprisingly, both those selling and buying stigmatized properties are on the rise in Japan. Well, about selling, I can understand because now over 25% of the population in Japan is 65 years old, over 65 years old. So selling, I can understand because people die eventually. But buying, still some people hesitate to buy those properties, right? Like it depends, like just natural death or like murder, it depends. But to me, even like you buy a new house on the ground, probably there were some dead people below the ground in the past, like a long, long time ago, or even like before. So what's the difference to me? Okay, like on the ground, like below the ground, like a long time ago, that's why you don't care. Then about the house, because that's inside the room, you might think that like hesitate to buy, but why don't you do renovation in the room? And some people say, well, but still smells. Once people die, like you can smell that stuff. Even so, if you do renovation, it can make the smell clean. So according to the government's guidelines, rental properties have a disclosure obligation for a period of up to 3 years from the occurrence of an incident. Only 3 years. Only. So even you care about it, before 3 years ago, you don't know about it. And of course, the real estate agencies don't want to say it, before 3 years ago. Even this happened. Otherwise, the value of renting is gonna go down. And for properties being sold, there is an indefinite obligation to disclosure if specialized cleaning was required due to deaths other than murder or suicide. They reported that the number of inquiries has more than doubled compared to the previous year and the year before. About stigmatized properties are getting popular. Japan is experiencing a rapidly aging society, and due to the interruptions caused by COVID-19, there are many cases of death from isolation. Depending on the circumstances, stigmatized properties can be livable. So 49% are answering this way. Like about 50%. Kind of a lot. I expected majority of people hesitate to live in stigmatized properties. In the midst of urban real estate prices skyrocketing, some people are opting for stigmatized properties that offer better deals than the market average. So some people try to look for stigmatized properties only for the reason because market value is low. On average, these properties sell within 1 to 2 months. Very fast. 1 to 2 months. Stigmatized properties are indeed more affordable. I would say more and more people start not caring about this kind of property. I thought more people didn't wanna rent it out or buy it, of course. It's kind of shocking news to me. Well, I'm curious about my viewers. You guys care about this kind of property or not? Like, I would say as long as you are single or you don't have kids, probably you don't care much, but once you have a family, I might think like, have a baby, like a bit hesitant to buy it. For instance, do you wanna live in a place with a bunch of tombs and funeral places? I mean, if you can, you want to avoid living that kind of areas, right? Like you can see tombs, lots of tombs from your garden or, it is said that the selling prices of stigmatized properties drop by around 10 to 20% in the case of lonely deaths, 20 to 30% in the case of suicides, and 30 to 50% in the case of murders. Well, to me, even suicides and murders, okay, it's dead. But still, why suicides 20 to 30%? I'm not sure, like some people believe in spirits kind of stuff, but making committing suicides, you need so much effort. Like, you have to so much commitment to do it, which means I don't think that's a good vibe, or you don't see it, but I think you might feel it because of that person. Because if he or she is happy in this life, they don't commit suicide, right? They felt unhappy, some kind of hate towards this world. So I think they might have some kind of a spirits. So 20 to 30% less, still it's not a good deal, I would say. More than half. And even mothers, why 30 to 50%? Why 30? I'm very curious about other people's opinions. You guys can live or buy the property that was happened murder or suicide. To me, I want to avoid if I can. The buyer was Mr. Tanaka, age 29, who resides in Osaka Prefecture. I wanted to live in Osaka City, and the fact that it was located in the city on the 11th floor, facing south, made it attractive. Very, I don't know, logical, this person, like very, what can I say, calculating. So I think about how she doesn't care about like spirits or like evil, I don't know, atmosphere. Just, it's a good deal. It's facing the south, so it's so warm. And 11th floor, so nice. And plus located in the city, convenient. Wow. She can think about this very logically or like very calculating. The price was reasonable and within my budget, so I decided to buy it. She couldn't make decision easily. Mr. Tanaka had no concerns about the stigmatized property. For Mr. Tanaka, I think Miss Tanaka, this property is her first home. She's preparing for full renovation. Did she have any concerns about the fact that the previous owners died alone? Okay, so not commit suicides or murders. In that case, I kinda understand her. I mean, like even mothers, then I'm gonna be a bit shocked. Like, she's gonna say, but facing south, so it's pretty warm and living in city, so it's so reasonable. And for instance, the murder happened in that room, but I don't care because that's not me, so I'm okay, scared. I work in the medical field, so I'm used to being in close proximity to death. Okay, but still, even in your private time, even when you go home, you have to face death. So close. Going to work, facing death. Coming home, facing death. Maybe watching TV, facing death. Horror movies. It was not murder, but a lonely death. And since everybody eventually passed away, yeah, very logical thinking. I agree with her. I didn't have any fear about it, so it's okay. Okay, she didn't have a fear about death. She might think our body is gonna be just a piece of proteins and ashes, and eventually, in the ground. Natural circulation. Yay! Very logical person she is. Oh, Miss Tanaka is expecting her child to be born at the end of November. Is it okay? Okay, that was lonely death property, so, even you have a baby, life and death should not be combined, I would say. Always like a coin, head or tail, but still so close. So close. She's a very happy person. She's looking forward to starting a new life in this property. New life. A new life, literally. I don't know how the house will turn around, but I'm excited about that too. Excited. I plan to live here for a long time, so I'm looking forward to it. Very optimistic person she is. I like her. At the same time, a bit scared of her. Adding a value to stigmatized properties through dramatic before and after transformations, the room was slightly dim before the renovation. Deposed real estate sometimes adds value to stigmatized properties before selling them. So probably some people intentionally buy those properties, then doing renovation, then selling to the market. That's kind of smart, but I don't know, like, might think like if you do it over and over, you might get some kind of evil spirit. I don't know, like not much people wanna face death, right? naturally. Anyway, I'm curious about my viewers' opinions about this type of stigmatized properties. If you were you would buy it or not. So how many people can live in the property with lonely death, suicides, or murders? And of course, lonely deaths, probably some people don't hesitate, but going to murder cases, fewer and fewer people gonna try to live in that place. So please leave some comments and thanks for watching. Bye bye.